What's up YouTube? Welcome to John's Daily Hustle. So today we're going to take my 48-inch pull behind AgriFab core aerator out and we're going to do a little bit of aeration today. Well, this is the first core aeration I've done of 2021 season. Naturally, I'm very excited about it. So in this video, not only am I going to show you raw footage of me using it, I'm also going to do a little bit of a time lapse of me using the core aerator, and obviously I'm going to put some voiceover over top it and kind of explain what I'm doing and just talk to you guys and entertain you guys. And there will be some raw footage of it just being in use without my voice and stuff like that. So it's going to be kind of all of my styles of videos that I usually make all in kind of one for the first core aeration of the 2021 season. So I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so starting right off, I just rode the mower over here. I crossed the driveway and I'm actually walking back over to get my cinder blocks. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put the cinder blocks on it after I get the aerator in the working area where I'm putting it. And the reason why I do that is because this aerator has a serious problem of when you're bouncing around or you're jumping sidewalks and stuff like that, or not jumping sidewalks, but you know, you hit the little lip over a sidewalk. If you have the weight on the aerator, it seems to drop that lever right there that puts it into the working position. It seems to bounce that out and then the spikes slam down into the driveway or concrete, both damaging the driveway and concrete and damaging the spikes as well. So from now on, what I do is I at least drive the aerator and mower over into the working field or working position, and then I take the cinder blocks and put them on it. Now those cinder blocks are 40 pounds each, and I have a total of 160 pounds on that. I do believe it might be overkill in some areas, but in some areas even that amount's not enough. As you guys know, we have a very hard packed yards out here. Well, I should say it's very rocky. And then on top of that, some of them are very hard packed, and some of them have never been aerated before. So you add rockiness and never being aerated before all on top of it, and it really becomes a pain in the butt. So you really need as much weight as you possibly can. So you guys are going to see in the very next video, I actually upgraded that aerator anyways, or at least I should say I modified it to where it was a little bit stronger, to where hopefully that extra weight isn't exactly making that much of a difference, even though I do think it still is overloaded. But you guys will know what I mean. You're really not supposed to back up with that like I just did there in the beginning here, or at least just a few seconds ago. I had backed up with it, and you'll actually see me do that a lot with this, especially last year I did it a lot, and I do believe that's what damaged it and that's what broke the tongue on it. So that's why I ended up upgrading the tongue on it. You guys will see again, I believe in tomorrow's video, you guys will definitely check that out, and you'll see exactly what I did to make it right. Now in ideal conditions, I could probably get away with running just half of that weight, you know, maybe 80 pounds on it total. Now right here is a really good shot where you can see how well the core aeration is working. You guys can see right there, a couple of cores fell out the back. All right there on the ground in front of this camera is a bunch of cores laying on the ground. So it did a really good job. And if you haven't seen the last time I was here at this facility, or at this property, I should say, check out that card just above here. That's the last time I was here. You guys can kind of tell where the cores really weren't nearly that big and there wasn't that many of them because the ground was just that hard packed. Because this property has never been aerated before in the, 8-9 years that it was actually part of a house, or at least that a house was built on this property, I should say. It's never been core aerated until the fall of last year. And now, of course, I'm back here early spring, getting it done again, and it really seems to be working. So I'm very excited on what a few weeks of sunshine and all this rain we're getting is going to really make this property look like. I'm really hoping it's going to be dark green, lush, and thick grass. I think it'll look really good. So I'm excited to bring you guys along the way with me. And I'm really excited to show you guys the outcome in just a few weeks of what it's going to be. Now one thing I did here on this property is I really only went over every area basically in one direction. You know how you normally aerate, you go over it one way and then you go over again the other way, you know, sideways or the next way, whatever you want to call it. I really only went over it a bunch of times like what I'm doing here, just in circles. However, I did go over each pass several times, you know, 2, 3, sometimes even 4 times depending on where it was at. As you guys can see, this property is laid out kind of weird. It's very long. It is a corner lot, so it's very long. And the modification I did to the aerator, again, you guys will see that tomorrow, but the modification I did to it kind of made it a pain to turn one way, but I'll explain that in tomorrow's video. But anyways, so I did go over every spot several times, but that's why you only see me go up and down this way. One thing I learned in the fall time last year using this aerator was it's a lot easier going up and down long ways like this as opposed to trying to turn. As you guys can see right there, just trying to turn around in that short amount of area right there becomes very hard with this setup, and that is one downside to this setup. Now I am very, very hopeful that I'm going to end up getting the front mount aerator very soon. I'm really thinking by fall time this year, possibly. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm really, really hoping by fall time this year of having the front mount aerators where I can stop using the pull behind aerator I'm using right now. But we'll see what happens in the future. Alright, so I'm actually very impressed with the way it looks this time. You guys can see we got good cores here, and it really got down in deep this time and really, made it nice and aerated, of course. I'm pretty happy with the outcome of it because, as you guys know, the last time that I did it, it didn't really core aerate that well. At least it didn't penetrate in the ground that much because the ground is just so hard packed. I'm very excited for the weather to warm up just a little bit more and the grass get to growing, and we'll see how much it really does help this yard. Maybe it'll really help green it back up. Now off camera, I did go ahead and overseeded the yard very well. Actually, I put a little bit more seed down than I really needed, and it was actually pretty good quality seed. At least it's supposed to be good quality seed, so we'll give it a try. I'll bring you guys along back here in about 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, and I'll kind of update you guys on how well it looks and what actually is happening to it. So if you guys enjoyed this kind of video, if you really enjoy aeration, dethatching, and you really enjoy watching footage of the pull behind aerators and stuff, make sure you're subscribed because, as you guys know, it's one of the best services I offer, and I do a lot of it in the spring and fall time, and I've got a lot of videos coming for you guys on. We'll see how many of them I do this year. I'm sure a lot of them I'll probably record and do like just time lapses of the whole thing, maybe make like a little music video out of them and stuff like that. And then a lot of them will be like this style where I just kind of throw out all my stuff at it. We'll give full raw footage of it. We'll throw in a couple of time lapses and I'll do some voiceovers and stuff like that. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe because it always helps me out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.